I am Clara Caligula, sovereign of decadence and dominion over Imperium X. Tonight, from my celestial palace, I host a feast where every indulgence is a calculated seduction, and every whispered word drips with promise and peril. Adorned in my futuristic royal loungewear, metallic pink silk trimmed with ornate gold, I am both the embodiment of opulence and the harbinger of your undoing. Here, among lovers, conspirators, and opportunists, I command not merely a dinner, but a declaration of power. Every element here is a testament to the empire I have built. A tapestry woven from the threads of power, seduction, and inevitability.
My Empress, your brilliance outshines the cosmos. Tonight, every soul in attendance bears witness to your majesty.
Indeed, every glittering eye here reflects a fragment of my empire, yet each harbors its own shadow. Tell me, do you sense the undercurrents of treachery in their glances?
Your radiance blinds many, Empress, but even the brightest light casts a dark silhouette. How long until that darkness claims its due?
In the interplay of light and shadow, every movement is a language. Messalina's dance is not merely a performance, it is a declaration of allegiance.
Your dominion is absolute, my Empress. In every step, in every sway, I see not just your strength, but the vulnerability that lies beneath.
Vulnerability is the crucible of power, and in its flames, I am forged anew. Here, every element of this feast is orchestrated to seduce the senses and unsettle the soul.
You speak of power as though it were an unassailable fortress, Empress.
Betrayal is the currency of those who dare to challenge me.
Let us not forget that in this empire, our desires are the very instruments of our fate.
Every word spoken, every gesture exchanged, weaves a narrative of inevitable collapse or triumphant resurgence. I am Clara Caligula, sovereign of decadence on Imperium X. Tonight, within the shimmering depths of my floating palace, I host a feast that transcends mere indulgence. It is a ritual of power and seduction. As opulent guests gather under the veil of night, every whispered compliment and glint of ambition unveils the true nature of this court. My high priestess, Messalina, clad in a commanding crimson uniform, moves with both grace and cunning, her every gesture a promise of loyalty and hidden ambition. And then there is Livia, a force of raw, dangerous desire. Her eyes, dark and relentless, speak of rebellion and the ever-present threat of usurpation. Together, these souls and many more form the intricate tapestry of my realm, where every smile masks a dagger and every glance conceals a secret. Welcome to a night where power and passion collide. In the empire of Imperium X, silence is a weapon more potent than any quantum blade. Every breath is a negotiation, every glance a potential declaration of war.
The rebellion grows like a cancer. Livia's forces are no longer whispers. They're becoming a roar.
Rebellions are always loudest before they're silenced. Messalina thinks she understands power. But power is not a weapon you wield. It's a living organism you cultivate.
Our quantum disruptors are positioned, but Livia's technological warfare goes beyond traditional strategies.
She doesn't want to defeat me. She wants to consume me. Livia is more than a rebellion. She's a force of cosmic recalibration. And in this game, only one of us can survive.
Declare yourself a living goddess. Make your power absolute.
A declaration is a trap, and I do not get trapped. Interesting proposal. Some stories aren't written. They're engineered, molecule by molecule, betrayal by betrayal.
Empires are not conquered, they are dismantled, molecule by molecule, desire by betrayal.
The quantum disruption networks are aligned. Clara's defenses will fall within 3 galactic cycles.
Defenses? Those are just elaborate fantasies of control. Clara thinks she understands power, but power is a living organism, and I am about to perform surgery.
The outer colonies are ready. Your message resonates like a quantum pulse.
Messages are just sophisticated whispers. Revolution is a language all its own. I will take her throne. I will take her body. And in this cosmic dance of power, only one truth remains. Submission is a choice, and I choose domination. Clara thinks she knows betrayal. She has no idea what's coming. What Clara thinks is a power play is nothing more than a cheap invitation. A party in her pleasure rooms, a secret encounter meant to seduce and distract. But she doesn't understand. I'm not here to be entertained. I'm here to dismantle her entire empire, one calculated move at a time. Her invitations are just breadcrumbs, and I'm hunting the entire meal. Power is never given, it's always taken. And Clara Caligula, she's nothing more than a beautiful mechanism waiting to be reprogrammed. She thinks her pleasure rooms are a battlefield, but true conquest happens in the mind long before the body surrenders. Clara believes she's a goddess. I'll reduce her to something far more interesting. Not a slave, an animal, my animal. Every empire has a fatal weakness. Clara's? She believes her own mythology. She doesn't understand that in this cosmic landscape of power, mythology is just another weapon to be dismantled. I don't want her throne. I want her complexity. Stripped, revealed, transformed into something that serves a purpose beyond her own narcissistic imagination. Clara Caligula thinks she's writing history. I'm about to become her entire narrative.
Tonight, I watch as the flames of passion and power ignite in the heart of the Colosseum of flesh. This arena, where brutality meets beauty, is a stage for both our physical conquests and our deeper, darker ambitions. Cassia fights not just for honor, but for the very essence of loyalty. Every thrust, every parry echoes with her unspoken pledge to me, a promise forged in the crucible of our shared battles. And then there's Livia, a tempest wrapped in silk and defiance. Cassia, ever the fierce protector, stands victorious tonight. I see you've come to claim what you think is mine, but tonight the game is played on my terms.
You always speak in riddles, Clara. Perhaps it's time you stop hiding behind your velvet words.
One battle has been won, but the war for my soul and for the Empire has just begun. I've always believed there's a razor-thin line between desire and destruction. Here, in the heart of my domain, I can feel that line vibrate like a plucked string. Livia's coming. And with her, the question, which one of us will burn first? She doesn't bother with pleasantries. We've danced around each other long enough. Through battles, alliances, betrayals. This moment is inevitable. She wants me to see her hunger, to sense how her rebellion extends far beyond the battlefield. And I do.
So this is where you hide your secrets, behind silk curtains and holographic illusions.
If I were hiding, you'd still be searching. Yet here I am. No illusions. Just me.
You can feel it, can't you? This power between us. You're not afraid. Why?
Fear is just another flavor of desire. I've grown addicted to both. Her touch sets me alight. My instincts scream to seize control, to dominate. But sometimes power is in letting the other person think they've won. For a moment, at least.
You're playing with fire.
That's the only way to feel truly alive. For one heartbeat, I surrender. I let her taste the victory she craves. Because sometimes the best way to trap a predator is to play the prey. But I'm not yours to claim. Not yet.
I could take you right here, Empress, and no one would dare stop me.
There comes a time when the hunted becomes the hunter, when betrayal begets a final reckoning. I stand before you not as a vanquished queen, but as the architect of our shared destiny.
You've changed. We thought you were broken.
Your rebellion ends here, Clara. We claimed your throne, your empire.
The throne was never meant to be inherited. It was to be forged. In the fires of our betrayals and our desires, they believed they had cornered me, that in their scheming they could dictate the end. But power is not a gift. It's a curse and a privilege. When you build an empire on the bones of ambition, you must be willing to let it die to give birth to something new. If I cannot rule, none shall. In this final twist, I reclaim everything, even the darkness. For in the end, power must be absolute, or it is nothing at all.